Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of things, honey. The reunion finale, there was a lot that happened and a lot that was not addressed. And so today we're going to be talking about all of that. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And everyone, don't forget to like, it really helps with the algorithm. And also let me know what you think. Today I will be playing some of the clips as well, so we're going to be reacting to it together. And yeah, just for also, I'm going to be pausing to talk about it in between. Um, I have to do that also as I don't want to get flagged for like copyright as well for playing too much of the clip. All right, let's get into it.
You take from that?
I'm a little much. I take that.
So here, Tommy is confronting this guy. What's his name? Not Laron. His name is like gone past my mind now. Is confronting him for being too extra in the way in which he speaks to the woman. The thing is, my challenge is he's not even being extra. He's being disrespectful. I personally think he's being disrespectful. I think he's going over the boundaries. It's like, why do you intentionally want to push people's boundaries? What is the problem? Like, why are you so obsessed with doing that? So I think for me, that's how I personally feel about the issue. But let's keep watching.
Those that do like me, they receive it.
Yeah.
And I guess
Okay, for those that do like him, I'm just like, nobody likes it. Like,
right? If you're getting the impression that he's too forward, like well, let's say for me, I'm not going to be on that because I'm like, you're too forward. You're doing absolutely too much. And what's the point in that? That's just me personally. That's what I would say. But let's keep playing.
everybody here didn't.
But do you see how
I see it.
Patrice is me, honestly. I'm like, seriously, dude? Like, how old are we? You should know better. You're old enough to absolutely know better. So I'm not really buying this act that he's trying to perform for us. I'm not buying it. Guys, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out like the best layout for this. I can't find the other layout I was using, so pardon me if you see me like moving around. I'm just trying to find the best one. Okay, I think this one is the best one, I would say, because you still get to see my avatar and you still get to see the video playing. All right, let's keep going.
it's aggressive?
It's aggressive. I'm aggressive.
You know it's aggressive, yet you keep doing it. When would people stop that? You say yes, you know it's aggressive. You're like, it's aggressive, but you still do it. It's like, what is wrong with people? Seriously.
Aggressive person. You know, I don't tiptoe to relationships. And when I do, I want to open up conversation. I'm tired of talking about boring things.
This is fine. It's fine for you to be tired of talking about boring things. I don't want to talk about boring things as well when I'm dating and getting to know people. I want to talk about interesting things. I don't want to constantly be like, how was your day? And what happened? No. Let's talk about interesting things. I get that. But that does not mean that we should be talking about sex every single second, every single time. That does not mean that you should begin the first conversation with someone asking them about sexual things. It's just rude. It's not tactful, it's crass. Yeah, I just absolutely hate it. But let me know what you guys think about this shenanigan.
Well, I mean, first conversations.
It's too
skinny
soon.
dipping.
I might not get another one.
You're right.
You will not be getting another one. How about that? Keep behaving the way you're behaving, and you're not going to be getting any more dates. Let's call it that. You're not going to be getting any more dates behaving the way you're behaving, sir.
I get another one after that. You're not.
The whole concept of skinny dipping, it's not that I want to do that. It was that, would you follow me? If I
Ugh. Watch him try to explain this away. It's like, would you follow me if that's what I wanted to do? How about I don't know you, so I'm not following you anywhere? Like, what is wrong with people? You are just meeting this person for the first time. You're talking about skinny dipping. I'm sorry. Cut it out.
want to do something.
No. I mean, we grown, I get it, but on the first date, no.
Exactly. And this is Rashina, who is like hella cool. She's hella like, chill about these things. Even she is saying this is a mess. This ain't right. I'm like, if Rashina is saying, yeah, Rashina is low key a freak, like, something is wrong with you, sir. Let's keep watching.
Expedite this. Would you roll with me? You know, and of course, I want to make it a sexual question.
Is there other things that you can start the conversation with on a first time basis?
I think that's kind of so old and boring now. I want to spice it up, you know, and that's who I am. Everybody knows that. I would never change that.
You're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
But I don't think he's ever been successful.
Who?
Ooh, 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 ooh. You will miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I agree with that, especially in terms of business, life. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. But, sir, no, no, sir. That should not excuse this behavior. I'm sorry. It shouldn't.
Who am I to judge anybody else's methods?
Who said that? In the words of Portia, who said that? Literally. Who said that? It's like, cut it out, man.
You look at this and you see how some of the women receive it.
Right.
Does it make you feel like
Yeah, honestly, no. No, thank you. Not here for it.
I need to maybe change up my approach to this?
Maybe tweak it a little bit.
Tweak it how? You need to throw the whole approach away. What do you mean tweak it? Like, this is the thing. It's like, what do you mean tweak it? How you finna tweak this, for goodness sake? Let me watch you tweak it. How, Sway? How? How are you going to tweak this approach? How about you get rid of this approach that is clearly not working out for you? If it was, you wouldn't even be on the show Ready to Love. So how about let's switch it up? And also, it's just rude, disrespectful, tactless.
Just a little bit, you know, it just depends on who you're talking to. Because sometimes it works.
Patrice is like, I don't know when, but it ain't never gonna work for me. And that is absolutely true. It shouldn't. This is a mess. It really, really shouldn't work. Like, it's just like, what are you doing, for goodness sake? Like, can we like wake up and have a bit more sense about ourselves? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, personally. I think for me, the biggest thing about him is I feel like he's not going to take accountability that this is not something that is appropriate. This is not a way in which he should be behaving. It's actually very disgusting. And I was listening to Little Black Book 91, and he also mentioned about him trying to kiss April on the neck or something like that. That is absolutely disgusting. You should not come around or come or trample upon people's boundaries in that way. And I feel like, or in any way, let's be clear. And I feel like Ready to Love is always minimizing these things, which is really, really frustrating because it's like, you're minimizing something that is so serious constantly. What do you think is going to happen? You constantly have these people who come on the show to behave badly, like this one has behaved. And I'm just like, and he's there laughing and smiling, and he's not being really held up. His feet isn't really being, or his feet aren't really being held to the fire. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I'm very, very, well, I won't say disappointed because this is what Ready to Love do. Like, to be completely honest, yeah, I won't even say disappointed on this one. But let's move on to Chaz. Let me put the video up.
You started out with a lot of connections. So do you think you were showing the same affection to all these ladies?
Remember, he said he had 10 out of 11 women. So I'm like, okay, sir, Mr. 10 out of 11. Connections with 10 out of 11. I'm like, okay, sir. Interesting. So I know the whole premise of the show is Ready to Love and all that good stuff. I get it. But at the same time, I feel like in the way in which he comes across at times, it's just like, sir, do you like any of these women that much, right? And also, if you like any of these women, what is it about every single one of them? Like, I can't imagine having connections with 10 out of 11 people. That would be so weird, because it's like it would make it harder for me to choose. But also, it's like, what do I see in 10 different people that are so different across the spec, and I'm all connected to all of them? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me personally.
Thought I was being clear, but like with this process, I wanted to give everyone a fair shot and just keep an open mind.
No.
Someone said, nah. The thing is, I understand wanting to keep an open mind. I honestly understand it. I get it. But I feel like this is beyond keeping an open mind. This is too far on the extreme side, if you ask me. Too far on the extreme side, if you ask me. It's like, yeah, you can keep an open mind, but dating or connecting with 10 out of 11, that is too open of a mind, and that's concerning to me personally. That's what I would say.
I wanted to explore each connection. So I was very intentional and I did my best not to mislead anyone in this process.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Like, a guy would tell you, well, at the moment, I'm not really looking for something serious. And then we'll be doing things to make you think that it's serious. We'll be throwing little words in there every now and then to make it seem like things are serious. And then say to you, but I told you I wasn't serious. I told you I didn't want anything. Like, yes, your words may have been clear at the outset, but did your words continue to be clear after that? And were your actions also aligning with what you were saying? Or is this all completely, you just making it up as you go along? Now, of course, he's going to say he told her and fine. And that may well be the case, right? Like, it may well be the case that he felt like he had communicated that. But in the same vein, were you saying to her things like she's your strongest connection? Those are the questions I have. And from this reunion, it sounded like someone was saying, I think it was Vanessa that was saying, or was it Patrice, that you constantly kept saying about the connection thing. But let's play it.
Patrice, your connection was with Alonzo.
Mm-hmm.
What at the time did you see in Chaz that made you wanted to continue to pursue it that late in the process?
Well, I love the fact that Chaz had prepared himself for a wife because
You know what's interesting? When she says Chaz, I love the fact that Chaz has prepared himself for her wife. I always wonder, what is it about Chaz that makes her think that he has prepared himself for marriage? Because personally, I don't know why she keeps saying that. At least from the show, the only thing that I would say, okay, we noticed is the financial element of Chaz, right? It seems all of the women sort of, at least most of them, were secure or found security in the fact that Chaz sort of seemed to be financially, doing great. Because I don't know what his finances are. So I'm just saying from our perception of what we were watching, right? So even when she talks about this, it's not like she would say things like, okay, certain behavior, certain personality traits and stuff that has made her feel like he has prepared himself for her wife. Like, if you're saying to me like, oh, okay, he went into therapy for his previous trauma from previous relationships, he has this, he already has a family home, he has already gone to check his sperm count, all of these things, I don't know, all of these very specific things will make me feel like, okay, maybe I see what you're saying, right? He's emotionally ready, financially ready, um physically ready, all that kind of stuff, right? But at the moment, it just seems like the financial element is what is getting all of the girls.
I don't want to be a girlfriend either. I want to be a wife. But whatever a person really needs, they're gonna gravitate to that. So
Now, she is right about whatever a person needs, they will gravitate to that. That is absolutely correct. That said, I will say that I feel like I didn't really understand how she developed a connection with a guy who was not necessarily, I think she was the one that said he wasn't calling her or what. Sorry guys for the pause there. I was so like, I think I had 3 hours of sleep last night and I'm so tired. I thought I was fine, but then like sometimes I just like break into like a random yawn. So I was like, yeah, so sorry, I had to pause it. But yeah, let's keep watching.
When I left and I made my decision, it was a solid decision.
Vanessa, didn't he say you were his strong connection?
Consistently, he said I was his type of connection.
So according to Vanessa's mouth, Chaz said consistently that he was her top connection, or she was his top connection rather. And he just looks over there. I'm like, okay, do you agree, disagree? Like, let's see, what does he say?
I just feel like the way that he described it.
Did you see that little smirk, or am I making it up? I thought I just saw a little smirk on his face. I wonder what that's about.
Meant less and less as the process progressed. So even if he says he tried his best not to be misleading, I think it began to be very misleading.
Can I speak on?
Can we talk about Vanessa's hair and Vanessa's look? She's looking really gorgeous. She's looking really regal. Like, I really, really love the fit. I love how beautiful she looks. Honestly, beautiful. She looks very, very stunning to me. Like, she looks good.
On that?
Yes, please.
So others saw how deeply I cared for you. When I brought you flowers, I brought you 2 dozen. Other women brought him a dozen.
Oh, I brought you flowers and then I brought, seriously. Even if you buy more flowers for certain people and less for certain people, I'm sorry, I'm still going to feel some type of way if you're buying everyone the same thing you're buying me. Like, it doesn't matter if you make mine slightly different. Like, it still feels like you're buying them the same thing you're buying me. Now, if you got all of them flowers and then you got me flowers and something else, that's different. Or you got me something completely different that was thoughtful and more in relation to something that I like, then I'd be like, okay, cool. But with this one, it sounds like you brought her flowers and then proceeded to give other women flowers as well. Now, you would say the quantity was different, but still, the implication is the same. Like, it's just odd to me.
But if that wasn't clear to you, then I'm not going to spend a lifetime convincing someone that I cared.
Honestly, the way Vanessa looks so unbothered, I'm just like, she just looks like, I do not care about this. Like, why do I have to have these conversations right now? Like, I do not care to have this conversation. That's what it's given, honestly. That is what it's looking like. And yeah, I'm absolutely like, okay then, well, that's what you're on, that's what you're on. Like, but anyways, let's keep going.
How was the interaction with you guys during the getaway?
There was no interaction until the end of the day, which I think Vanessa brought up. So yeah, it's a little weird, honestly. Like, if a man was telling me he was into me and would be giving like random folks, like, or other people he's so-called connecting with flowers, and then gives me like a, yeah, nah, I'm not. Either way, I'm not gonna be cool with that. If I'm being completely honest, I'm just not gonna be. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. And he was like, let's keep playing.
I thought it was good.
Because you eventually left the getaway.
I requested a moment, and they followed me from room to room, so I took matters into my own hands, and I left. One of the things I didn't like about Vanessa's check-in was she sent me a text saying, if you need...
This is where it gets even more interesting. So apparently Vanessa sent him a text message. He is outing Vanessa. Because Vanessa is coming across as this, prim, proper, not really doing too much. She's kind of like, yeah, that's what's given. But Mandem, He ain't here for it. Let's just say that.
You were going to leave. You should have said something. We wouldn't have sent William home.
Vanessa is spicy. But this is the thing. I'm like, can we get some spiciness at this reunion? She was just like, nah, I'm not giving you none of that. You can try to portray me who I am behind the scenes on camera, but I'm not about to stop coming across the way I want to come across. And I kind of like that. I like when people, no matter what people do, they can't throw you off how you want to portray yourself, how you want to present. I absolutely adore that.
Why is my name in it?
William is like, how did I get in it? How did I get in it?
Could leave myself and Rashina and Patrice, then yes, the person who didn't want to leave should not have been sent home.
Ladies, let me ask you all this.
Completely agree with you, Vanessa, and I love how you stood on business and you were respectful in the way in which you had that conversation. Most people can't say the same, but you stood on business, you were respectful, but you said what you said, and I agree with you. At the end of the day, you decided to take a break from the process. It is what it is. That ain't got nothing to do with me, nobody else. You decided to do that. And then someone who really was connecting with some of the ladies, at least Patrice, and wanted to stay, ended up getting sent home because of your unserious ass. So it's like, I get that. But anyways, let's keep going.
How did it affect you all when he left?
It bothered me. I thought I would be able to talk to you and figure it out. But when he left, we didn't know.
And this is where just keep watching, right? So watch what Rashina says and then watch what Patrice says. I want you guys to focus on what Patrice is saying because that is about to irritate me.
Where he went to, if he was coming back or not.
At first, he rejected me coming too. But the moment I was like, well, let me pray for you, he was open to that.
Chaz, at the end of it, you
Honestly, it's given like, pick me, pick me, pick me. Because, and if it was just one incident, I'll be like, okay, it's fine. Maybe she just was trying to explain and clarify. But no, she was doing the same thing when Koshia called out Alonso for his comments. So it's like, if you're doing that, you can't then, in the same vein, then be like, oh, this is like, you can't do that. You can't, because you don't want to call Alonso out because you were dating or you liked him. I'm just like, I can't trust you now with your interactions, because it's like, are you going to do the same thing again and not be able to call out behavior because you know the person? So now it's almost like, are you sticking up for Chaz in this case, or are you not? Like, what is it? Pick me.
decided to end things with Vanessa. And then there was this dog situation.
So I have a pup. She's a big part.
Well, the thing is, when he does talk about his dog, his face does light up, to be completely honest, which I don't think I've seen so far. So that's good on him.
Part of my life, Nola. And Vanessa, when I first met her, one of the things she shared with me was that she would never love or like.
Listen to what he said. When I first met her, one of the things she said to me was that she would never love or like my pup. If that's the case, sir, so why did you go on more dates with her? Why did you continue to interact with her when she said it point blank? If you really, really, really care to that extent about your pup, why wouldn't you just be like, okay, this person does not like my pup. This person ain't feeling my pup. This person has told me I'm never going to love your pup. So why are you still interacting? Why? Why? If someone said they ain't never going to love my pup, then and I'm meant to be dating them, and then nah. Even with my friend that has a pup, right? So initially when she told me about the pup, I was a bit like, because like I do not, for me, dogs and it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like with animals, I grew up with animals not in the house. So like, it's like animals in the house, kissing on animals, all that kind of thing is so it's not something I'm used to, right? And if I was dating somebody who was like doing all of that with their pup, I would be a bit like, yeah, nah, I don't know if this would work for me. But then guess what? So I don't really date people who have pets. Unless I must like really like the person and the person is very respectful about my boundaries in relation to their pets, then sure. But if someone like that who knows about, me not really liking pets, me being a bit concerned about hygiene, all that kind of stuff, um, and then chooses to still go along with things with me, I would just be like, okay, maybe you're not that serious about your pets in the sense that you sort of feel like, okay, well, anything can happen, right? You're not that pressed about your pets. You feel like, oh, I can still date this person, even though like my pet, even though, her and my pets may not really get along. So of course I'm not gonna be like, okay, if you wanna date me and you're cool with that and your pet is not gonna break my boundaries, then sure. Like I wouldn't have an issue with that. It's the onus is on you as the, I don't want to say parents of the pup, or I don't know what people call people who own dogs or have dogs. Um, you know, pet daddy, pet owner, like you as the pet daddy or pet owner, um, to know that okay, I do not want this kind of person within my space, so let me just cut it off. But you didn't, at least not immediately.
My dog. And the question I had for her was, would you ever let a man around your children who said he would never like or love your kids?
Yeah, yeah. The comparison is a bit of a stretch. Now, I do know people have like affinity and love for their dogs and see their pets as their kids. Um, but I think as a general consensus, most people would sort of feel like a human life is different from animal life. Now, whether or not that is true is just something that I would say the world, a lot of people within the world believe, right? So I can also understand how Vanessa may be upset about that because it's like, yo, I pushed those children out of my vagina. I worked so hard to get them out. You know what I mean? And then someone is telling me or comparing that relationship with the relationship with the pet. But I think it's easy for people like Vanessa and I who don't have pets to not really understand that dynamic. Nonetheless, I have empathy for it in the sense that I know that people could have like great love and commitment to their pets in the same way that they would if they had children. So, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that one. Let's move on to.
Would land with me and saying I couldn't.
So this is about the petrified flower, right? Tommy tries to find out how did she feel about this, and she's talking about the fact that the way he thought it was going to land, it didn't really land with her. And I'm like, okay, girl, fair enough. I'm happy for you, because I was clutching my imaginary pearls at that time.
Love you. It's not hitting the way you think that it's gonna hit because
I
we
didn't
are
need it
not.
to hit for you.
I absolutely agree. Vanessa seemed like the level of calmness that Vanessa had when he did that, the level of the calmness she's had after that is like the level of unbothered needs to be studied. Like it really does need to be studied. Like people need to go out there and study it. Like I feel like if we all could present in this way publicly at least, yeah, man. A lot of the issues that we have in at work, all these things would have been resolved.
Lovable or without
I
love.
didn't say that. And you're not going to put.
Um, well, Chaz, you may not have used those exact words, but you did reference something along those lines. At least that's what came out in the, because now they talk about how these things are heavily edited. But there was something about you cannot love her that was said. This is not, please don't take my word for it. It's if you guys remember, let me know, and if I'm wrong, also let me know so I can retract. But I do recall something along the lines of something to that effect, if I'm being honest. I feel like Chaz likes to play semantics. If he did not say something verbatim or exactly, then he could be like, well, that's not what I said. And he will be right in the literal sense. But then in the sense of like the the sort of the aim of what was said, what the message was trying to convey, no.
Those words in my mouth. The thing is, you're a narcissist.
Why
Oh,
would you call her a narcissist? Why would you call her a narcissist? The thing is, people throw the word narcissist right there, everywhere, willy nilly. And I'm like, do you even know what or who a narcissist is? Do you know what their traits are? Before you are then just putting it out there and saying this woman is a narcissist. Like, look at this lady's face. Her face looks like it was going to drop on the floor. Like, you can't just be out here calling people names in general when, like, it doesn't make sense. But then if someone sat there and called you something else, you would not appreciate it. That's what I think. So you calling her a narcissist is out of order. And she has not displayed anything on the show to make me feel like she's a narcissist. Which then makes me ask the question, are you projecting? Or what is it?
My behavior is narcissistic and projecting
Absolutely.
it, not yours.
It is
I love how she flagged that. So my behavior is nothing protecting.
about Vanessa. And Vanessa.
Like everything has to be about Vanessa. This is the thing. The Vanessa that Chaz is talking about is not the Vanessa that we know. It could be two things. It could be Vanessa is very good at acting, and behind the scenes, she does enough to instigate and stir the pot, and then on the screen, she acts prim and proper. It could be that. Or alternatively, I don't know. What would the alternative be? Or alternatively, this is just who she is, i.e., nice, calm individual. So, like, which is it? Sometimes it's a bit hard to know which one it is. But from what we're seeing, we're not seeing the Vanessa that Chaz seems to be referring to be honest.
Can have Vanessa.
ladies, if you get a petrified flower, how do you feel?
I would definitely feel like that's a jab. I think
Exactly. Like, I love how the women on this occasion actually spoke out and said, yes, they would feel some type of way. Because who wouldn't about getting a petrified flower? I don't care if it was poetic, like he will say soon.
it's hurtful.
He was just expressing it, and that's just what I see from just the outview.
To me, it wasn't that deep that I'm trying to like jab somebody. I had peace after that moment.
He wasn't trying to jab someone. I think this is where I disagree. I feel like I don't know what your intentions are, so I can never prove it. But I just feel like there was a level of you wanting to be petty, you wanting to get back at her, you wanted to embarrass her. These are just my opinions and my feelings, right? And so I just feel like there's all these like things, right, that you were looking forward to but did not get in some way. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit confusing to me. It is. And for me, I'm just like, petrified flower? Yeah, hell nah. Hell to the no. And telling me that, oh, you meant it as a poetic thing? No, thank you. I don't care for poems anyway. Like, leave it, let it be. Like, yeah, nah. It's a no for me. I don't think there's any way to re-explain the petrified rose thing. I don't know. There's no other way, personally.
Okay. What we doing now? We dating?
I found love.
Right.
I'm not on the market.
Vanessa's like,
There's a date set.
To get married.
Absolutely.
Bitch, it is.
So it turns out Chaz is getting married soon. He said there is a date set. He did not tell us what the date is, but there's a date set.
It's been 3 months.
I'm trying to do the math on How much time has gone by?
I knew her before, and she wanted me to go through the process, and she would support it.
Damn.
Wow. Wow. So technically, he's saying to us that he did not date her until he came back out of the process, which has only been 3 months, but he knew her before. Well, there's no way of us proving whether or not that is true. But what I will say is maybe perhaps, I don't know. I really don't. I struggle to believe that, if I'm completely honest. I feel like there's an element of something to an extent being, yeah, there must have been some sort of emotional connection even whilst you were um dealing with these ladies on the show. So I honestly struggle to believe that. But it's one of those things where I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, you go ahead. Hopefully it works out for him, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was um LeRon and Maya. I personally feel like from Maya's body language, she does not
All right, Laurent. What's
feel,
up, man?
she does not seem like she's really feeling LeRon, but LeRon seems to be sort of invested and really feeling her. I'm just like, even the way he leans and the way she's just like her arms are crossed, she ain't here for it at all. She's just like, to me, it's given, let's just hurry up and do what we gotta do and let's be going. Like, that is what I'm getting from her. Just visually anyway. I don't know, I think it's one of those things where I feel like sometimes you gotta try and date the person that you like, because sometimes that's what happens when the person you're deciding to give a chance, you don't find them attractive, you're not really into them like that. Because for me, there's never really been a time where I was like, oh, Maya's into LeRon. No, I have not. So their energy seems miles away. Maya's energy seems like, get your hands off me. LeRon seems like, oh, I want to get closer to you. Um, so yeah, I'm not really feeling this like whole arrangement or relationship personally. And then if we move on to Mika and Justin, honestly, I'm happy it worked out for them. I feel like I really hope it continues to work out for them. But when they talked about the children point, I was like, that is going to be a problem unless Justin knows for a fact that he does not want children. Like, you sort of being like, oh, you're cool about the fact that she does not want children, it's most likely going to change in a couple of years. Once you start seeing people with their kids, you start to think, oh, I want a baby. And if she's really adamant about not having children, then I wonder if you need to reconsider someone else. Now, I understand compromises, but I feel like there's some compromises that could make you resent somebody. And like, regular compromises like, oh, I'm thinking, oh, shall I eat this or this? And then you choose, oh, let me eat this. That's a compromise. Or, oh, should I go left to this? On this instance, and your partner is like, no, I believe go right, and you're like, oh, okay, just because you said it, I'll go right. Those are compromises, right? I feel like when it's something significant to that extent as having a child, when you want a baby, Jason, my dear, give it a rest. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, tap that bell button right next to it so you know everything every single time that I post. I am going to go and nap now because I can't take it anymore. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.